Most poker players do zero preparation before a session. They drive to their local card room, sit down to play, post their blind, and wonder why the first hour feels so incredibly rough. Here's the thing. Your session doesn't begin the moment you're dealt cards. It starts before you even leave the house or log in. And if you're not doing a pre-session routine, you're giving up edge before you even put your first chip in the pot. So today, I'm walking you through exactly what I do before every single session I play. And I want you to bookmark it and watch it before the next session you play, and the session after that, and the one 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 after that one too. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Good morning, how are we doing today? My name is James Sweeney, aka Split Suit, and today we're going to talk about what you should be doing before every single session you play. And this isn't going to take very much time, maybe a few minutes, maximum 10, but it's really just to make sure that you start every single session in a good headspace, understand what your goals are, and I'll run you through those in a very, very simple checklist form. So first up in your pre-session routine is extremely simple, and that's just a mental state check. Essentially, you need to be able to answer a very simple question, and that's simply, are you actually in the right headspace to play right now? Right now is the perfect time to take inventory of your mental state and ask yourself simple questions like, do I have any tilt carryover from my previous session? Do I have any life stresses that are bleeding into my ability to make good decisions right this moment? And as a general rule, if you cannot even convince yourself to do this pre-session routine, chances are you're not in the right headspace. If there are any hiccups in your mental state right this moment, now is the time to fix them, not in the middle of a session. So take a few minutes, think about if you need to de-stress in any capacity, if there's anything you need to think about, if there's maybe a session review you need to do in order to get over previous session tilt, whatever it is, make sure to do that now. And this is a question that I ask myself before every single session that I play. Simply, if I have a losing session right now, is it going to negatively impact my life? Hopefully the answer is no, other than of course being a little bit poorer than I was before I started the session. But if the answer is yes here, you definitely do not want to start that session. You need to put in some serious work and figure some other things out first. And look, if your mental state is really bad right this moment, you have 100% permission not to play a session right now. If you aren't a pro and your entire livelihood doesn't depend on you actually putting in sessions, you don't have to play today. It's 100% okay to hold off, wait till your mental conditions improve, and then put in the session then, rather than force something right this moment that could get really, really bad on you. Alright, so assuming that there's no red flags in your mental state right this moment, you're saying, yep, I am totally okay to put in the session, now is the time that you want to set a couple of session goals. And to be clear, you don't want to make this a monetary results goal. It would be a very bad goal to say, I want to win $300 tonight. That's not going to be a good goal at all. Instead, you want to set some process goals, things that you can actually control. Something like, I want to play my draws much better today. I want to make sure that I don't spew on the river. I want to make sure that I don't tilt in this session. These are actual process goals that you can control and are much, much better goals at the end of the day. And to be clear, you don't want to set too many at the same time. Like, you wouldn't want to set 10 goals for a session. 1, maybe 2 is going to be much, much better. Now, for me personally, I set 2 goals every single session. One is a will-do goal, and the other is a won't-do goal. So a simple will-do goal might be, within 20 hands, I am to the best of my ability going to categorize every single player at the table. That's a good one. And for my won't-do goal, I might say I won't make a single turn bet without being able to clearly articulate what it's accomplishing. And the nice thing about having these goals is that they can give you some very objective kill switches throughout the session. So essentially, if you're breaking either of these things, then hey, you know it's time to probably wrap it up for the day. Maybe you say, okay, if I break them twice, that's fine. But essentially, if these are your focal points throughout a session and you're constantly breaking them, chances are maybe the session is done and you should just wrap it for the day. And by the way, I did make a downloadable checklist for this. If you're interested in it, you can grab it today at splitsuit.com/session. Again, splitsuit.com/session, or link in the description box. Alright, so moving along the pre-session routine, the next thing is extremely quick and easy, and that's just to have a general intention for game and seat selection. While this is pretty basic, you want to know what game, what stakes, what formats you're going to be playing in this session. And now is a great time to understand if you have a plan B. So for instance, if you normally play 1-2 cash, and you end up going to a new card room and they don't have any 1-2 running, they only have 2-5, are you going to play 2-5 this session? If they have 1-2 but it's only 1-2 PLO, are you going to play PLO this session? For some players this is very basic, they only play one specific game format, and if you play online, chances are you have that available, but know this in advance so that way you don't get caught off guard later and be like, why the heck was I playing this game or this stake if it wasn't what you were planning to play in the first place? And since you're here, take a moment and articulate what is your plan if it's a bad game. You should know what is a bad game for you and be able to articulate very clearly if there's a threshold for, hey, if the game is this bad, I'm going to either change tables altogether or even maybe just end the session altogether or maybe even seat change. Now, truth be told, I'm not a big fan of seat changing in the first place, but here's my overall mindset I'll give you in case you need one. If you are newer to poker, the more valuable a seat change will be, either in leaving a table where you have awful position on the fish or aggressive regs, or getting a seat change button in a live game so you can just get a better position in that particular game. So if you're much newer to poker, a seat change makes more sense, and I'll give you a pass for a little while. But at some point, when you've been playing for a while, I typically suggest just staying where you are and learning how to battle from less ideal positions. You're not always going to be able to have the primo position in a game, so learning how to figure that out is usually going to be more valuable. Alright, moving on, we're getting into the logistics and comfort part of the routine. So logistics here largely has to do with money. So first and foremost, what is your bankroll, your plan for this exact session? Do you have that money available to you right this moment, either in your account or in your pocket? And also understanding how many big blinds are you going to buy in for, how many reloads are you going to bring with you. You should have a plan for these things far in advance. And again, now is the perfect time to do it before you even start your session. You should also choose right this moment if you're going to use a stop loss, and for almost all players I suggest that they do, and understanding what your stop loss is going to be. This is even more important if you play online, since you have your entire bankroll right there available in your account. If you're playing live, obviously how much cash you have on hand right that moment is largely going to impact what your overall stop loss is. Once you burn through that, well, the session is probably over right that moment unless you go and reload from an ATM or whatever. With that being said, if you're still building your discipline for live games, one thing I'll suggest is to keep your bank card in your car. So that way, if you do get in a situation where you burn through the liquid cash in your pocket and you're thinking about reloading, you have to take a physical walk to your car, slow you down a little bit, and give you a moment to say, hey, do I really want to continue this session, or am I tilting pretty badly and maybe should just call it right now? Now, as for the comfort side of this is really just looking at your food, your hydration, and your sleep. It might seem pretty basic, but it's a good idea to eat before your session. Make sure you're drinking water and you're well hydrated. Bring some of that stuff with you. A water bottle in your backpack makes a ton of sense if you're going to go play live, or just have a drink available to you if you're playing online. Just keep it on your desk. And it's never a bad idea to bring some snacks with you either, especially things that you can eat without getting your hands dirty. So like trail mix that you can just eat right out of the packaging is a good idea. Please don't be the goofball that brings tamales with you or anything that's going to get your hands dirty, and by extension the cards and the chips, and just don't be gross, please. And then also just take quick inventory on how tired you are. The more sleepy you are, chances are the less you should be putting in the session right this moment, especially if you have a long drive there, which means you also have a long drive home most likely. For me personally, if I know I'm going to be playing a later, longer session, then I tend to take a nap in the middle of the day, so that way I'm not getting super tired halfway through a session and I can play longer and later into the night. So again, make sure you can plan for that in advance if you can. And then the final part of this entire routine is a very simple mindset reset. So if I can give you the most powerful reframe you can possibly walk into any session with, it's very simply this. Remember that you're here to make good decisions, not to win. Winning's great, but losing plays can win and winning plays can lose. So judging session success purely on results is a recipe for disaster. Just focus on making good decisions with the information you have at that moment. That's all you can do. Remind yourself now to keep gathering information, updating player profiles, and making the best play you can. Remember, you can take walks and breaks during the session if you need to. Not a problem. Remember, you can leave whenever you want. And remember, you are in control here. You. And that is my pre-session routine, and hopefully will become your pre-session routine as you move forward. Again, we start with a mental state check to make sure we're in the right headspace to play. If we are, then we set our session goals. We'd set a basic intention for game and seat selection. We set a plan for our money and our comfort, and then we also do a very basic mindset reset. Again, this should really only take a few minutes to do before every single session, so make sure to bookmark this video so you can follow along before you play another session. And again, you can also download this at splitsuit.com/session. And whether you're watching this for your first time or your 174th time, leave a comment with today's date and your session goals for the session. And with that said, good luck out there and happy grinding.